Yo, America! Remember when Trump slapped those tariffs on imported cars and car parts? Yeah, that was wild. He said it was to protect American jobs and industries. He basically said America first, and started throwing tariffs around like confetti at a parade. The idea was to make foreign cars more expensive so Americans would buy more American-made cars. Sounds simple, right? Well, hold on to your hubcaps because this economic joyride is about to get bumpy. But buckle up because we're about to break down this whole tariff thing and see if it's a genius move or a recipe for disaster. Spoiler alert, it's complicated. Okay, let's get this straight. Taxes on trade, also known as tariffs, have been around for centuries. They are a fundamental part of international trade policies and can have far-reaching effects on economies and consumers alike. Tariffs are basically taxes on goods coming from other countries. Governments impose these taxes to protect domestic industries, generate revenue, or retaliate against unfair trade practices. Think of it like this. You buy a cool gadget online from overseas, and when it arrives at customs, bam! You get hit with an extra fee. This fee is the tariff, and it can sometimes be a significant amount depending on the product and the country it's coming from. You get hit with an extra fee. This can be frustrating for consumers who are unaware of these additional costs. It's not just about the price of the item anymore, it's about the added expense that comes with importing it. That's a tariff, my friend. It's a way for governments to control the flow of goods into their country and protect local businesses from foreign competition. So, when Trump put tariffs on imported cars and car parts, it made those vehicles more expensive for American buyers. The idea was to encourage consumers to buy American-made cars instead, thereby boosting the domestic automotive industry. The idea was that this price hike would make American-made cars more attractive. Makes sense, right? Well, in theory, maybe. The hope was that higher prices on imported cars would lead to increased sales of American cars, creating more jobs and stimulating the economy. But in reality, things are never that simple. The global economy is interconnected, and changes in one area can have unexpected ripple effects elsewhere. Because here's the thing, those foreign car companies, they're not just going to sit there and take it. They have strategies to counteract tariffs, such as shifting production to other countries or passing the costs onto consumers. They might raise their prices, which means American consumers end up paying more for both foreign and domestic cars. Ouch! This can lead to a decrease in overall car sales, affecting not just the automotive industry, but also related sectors like manufacturing and retail. Tariffs can also lead to trade wars, where countries retaliate by imposing their own tariffs, creating a cycle of increasing costs and economic tension. This can hurt global trade and economic growth. In the end, while tariffs are intended to protect domestic industries, they can sometimes have the opposite effect, leading to higher prices, reduced consumer choice, and strained international relations. It's a complex issue with no easy answers. So next time you're shopping for that cool gadget or a new car, remember the hidden costs that might come with it. Tariffs are more than just taxes. They're a powerful tool that can shape economies and impact our everyday lives. Remember that shiny new car you had your eye on? Well, get ready to shell out some extra cash because those tariffs are about to make your dream car a little pricier. See, when you make foreign cars more expensive, it gives American car manufacturers room to raise their prices too. Think about it, if a Toyota Camry suddenly costs the same as a Chevy Malibu because of tariffs, Chevy can bump up the Malibu's price without losing customers. Sneaky, right? So, while the tariffs might sound good in theory, the reality is that American consumers are the ones who end up paying the price, literally. Now, the whole point of these tariffs was to protect American jobs, right? And sure, some American car manufacturers might see a boost in sales and hire more workers, but here's the catch: car manufacturing isn't as simple as it used to be. See, cars these days are made with parts from all over the world. So when you slap tariffs on imported car parts, it makes it more expensive for American car manufacturers to build their cars. And guess what happens then? They might have to lay off workers or even close down factories. Talk about a backfire. Section 5, global gears grind to a halt. This tariff thing doesn't just affect America, you know. It's a ripple effect that spreads across the globe, touching every corner of the automotive industry. It's like throwing a wrench into the global economy's engine. Imagine the intricate gears and cogs of a well-oiled machine suddenly jamming. See, the car industry is a global network. It's a complex web of interdependencies where each part, each component, is sourced from different parts of the world. Countries rely on each other for parts, manufacturing, and sales. For instance, a car might be designed in Germany, have its engine built in Japan, and be assembled in Mexico. But when you start messing with tariffs, you disrupt that delicate balance. Tariffs increase the cost of importing and exporting goods, making it more expensive to get the parts needed. Suddenly, countries are scrambling to find new suppliers, renegotiate deals, and deal with the fallout. It's a logistical nightmare that can take months, if not years, to resolve. It's like a game of economic Jenga, and Trump just pulled a big block out. The stability of the entire structure is now in question. And you know what happens when the global economy gets disrupted? Everyone feels the pain. From factory workers to CEOs, the impact is widespread. So yeah, these tariffs aren't just an American problem, they're a global headache. The interconnected nature of today's economy means that a disruption in one part of the world can have far-reaching consequences. Factories may shut down, workers may lose their jobs, and the cost of cars could skyrocket. It's a chain reaction that affects everyone. Consumers will feel it too. Higher tariffs mean higher prices for cars, and that cost is often passed down to the buyer. Trade routes that have been established for decades are now being questioned. Countries are reconsidering their trade agreements and looking for new partners. The media is filled with stories of economic downturns and trade wars. It's a hot topic that affects not just the automotive industry but the global economy as a whole. Economists are worried, and for good reason. The long-term effects of these tariffs could be devastating, leading to a prolonged economic slump. What was once a bustling industry could become a ghost town. The stakes are high, and the world is watching closely. In the end, it's clear that these tariffs are more than just numbers on a spreadsheet. They're a real, tangible threat to the global economy, affecting millions of lives around the world. Section 6. Trade wars and tense talks. Remember that whole trade war thing with China? Yeah, that was partly because of these tariffs. See, when one country starts slapping tariffs on goods, other countries often retaliate with their own tariffs. It's like a playground spat, but with billions of dollars at stake. And these trade wars, they can have serious consequences. They can lead to higher prices, job losses, and slower economic growth. Plus, they create tension between countries, which is never a good thing. Diplomacy? Nah, let's just slap tariffs on each other. Section 7, the consumer's conundrum. So, what does all this mean for you, the average American car buyer? Well, it means you're caught in a tricky situation, a real conundrum. On one hand, you want to support American-made products, but on the other hand, you also want to get the best value for your money. Well, get ready for some tough choices. The landscape of car buying has become more complicated than ever before. You might find yourself standing in a dealership, feeling overwhelmed by the options and the prices. Do you buy an American-made car that might be more expensive because of the tariffs? These tariffs are essentially taxes on imported goods, and they can drive up the cost of materials needed to manufacture cars domestically. This means that even American cars can become pricier. Or do you go with a foreign car that's also more expensive because of the tariffs? It's a lose-lose situation. Foreign cars, which might have been more affordable before, now come with a heftier price tag due to these tariffs. So either way, your wallet feels the pinch. And it's not just about the price tag. The financial aspect is just one part of the equation. You also have to consider the variety and availability of cars. Those tariffs can also limit your choices. Dealerships might not have the same range of options they used to. You could walk into a lot and see fewer cars than you're accustomed to, making it harder to find exactly what you're looking for. See, if foreign car manufacturers decide it's not worth the hassle to sell their cars in America because of the tariffs, they might pull out of the market altogether. This means fewer foreign cars are available for you to choose from. You might not be able to get that cool German sedan. German cars are known for their engineering and performance, and losing access to them would be a significant blow for car enthusiasts. Or that reliable Japanese SUV you've been eyeing. Japanese cars are celebrated for their reliability and fuel efficiency, and not having them as an option could be a deal breaker for many buyers. So in the end, the consumer's conundrum is about balancing cost, availability, and personal preference in a market that's been turned upside down by tariffs. Section 8, the future of the automotive industry. The automotive industry is already going through some major changes, with electric vehicles, self-driving cars, and all sorts of new technology on the horizon. And these tariffs? They're just adding another layer of complexity to an already complicated situation. It's hard to say for sure what the long-term impact of these tariffs will be, but one thing's for certain, the road ahead is going to be bumpy. Buckle up, America. Section 9. Buckle up, a bumpy ride ahead. So there you have it, folks. The lowdown on Trump's auto tariffs. Did they protect American jobs? Maybe a few, but they might have cost some too. Did they make American cars cheaper? Nope. Probably made everything more expensive. Did they make America great again? Well, that's debatable. What we do know is that tariffs are a complex issue with far-reaching consequences. They can disrupt global trade, spark tensions between countries, and leave consumers holding the bag. So, the next time you hear a politician talking about tariffs, remember this: it's not as simple as they make it seem.